Well, hello. This is really the last of the percentage things you need to know. And this one's kind of regarded as the hardest one because it's the hardest one to remember. But actually, once you've got the knack, it's actually quite easy. So this is finding the 100% or the original amount. Okay, so let's just get started here. Righty-ho. Well, the key with these questions is you're going to be given a percentage, but it isn't a discount and it isn't 100%. Okay, so you'll have a number that isn't the 100% to start off with. So for instance, this example here, 20% of a number's 80, so what's 100%? Okay, can you see what I mean? When you get this keywords something percent of a number, it's usually a key that you've got one of these questions. So let's show you how to solve this. It's actually quite simple. All you've got to remember is 1. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is no matter what the percentage is, we need to find 1%. So you just do this by dividing by the percentage. So in this case, I'll do 80 divided by the 20, which gives me 4. So that means that 1% of the number is 4. Okay, so the first key is get down to 1%. Now what you need to do is get up to 100%. So to get 100%, you need to times your 1% by 4, and that tells you you've got 400. Now, if you want to, you can check this by going backwards. And so, for instance, if you want to check, find 20% of 400. Okay, so if I went 20 over 100 times 400, I'd get 80, which means I'm bang on correct. So let's have a look at a little bit of an application question. All right, so Larry buys a new jumper. Yeah, Larry's back again. And he's buying a new jumper in a sale, which has 35% off. His receipt shows that he pays $45. So what was the original cost of the jumper? Now, you've got a percentage there that's not 100, and you know that he didn't pay 100% of the cost. He got a discount. This one's a little bit trickier. First of all, you got to think, right, if Larry got 35% off, then actually what he paid was 65% of the cost. All right, because remember that the percentages have got to add up to 100. So what I know is that 65% is $45. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my number and I'm going to divide it by my percentage. Okay, so 45 over 60. Now this happens to be quite a hideous little fraction, or quite a nice little fraction. And the fraction is, let me just find that for you, 9 over 13. So sometimes you can actually leave it in your calculator, or as a decimal, it's really nasty. But the key here is that you can, you don't have to write the whole thing down like me. You can just leave it in your calculator, because after I've found 1%, remember I'm going to multiply by 100. So there we go, 100 to get 100%. So Larry's jumper originally cost $69.23. Okay. So let's just go in a minute. We're going to get you to pause and get these notes down in your notebook. Okay, so here we go. So the things to remember here is the key, the things that we're doing here is finding an original amount. Okay. All right, now the first key thing to do is find 1%. And you do this by divide, okay, the amount, okay, by the percentage. The next thing you do, second thing you do, is multiply, okay, by 100, and then that will give you the amount that's 100%. Now, interestingly enough, this also works when you've got more than 100%. So if somebody told you you had 115%, okay, and what was 100, then you just divide by 115 and then back up to 100. So it works for smaller and larger. Good luck. You need to pause now.